All right, Coach, if you want to just start with a couple opening thoughts, and then we'll go to some questions.
Man, what a game. You know, I forgot what the game went into last year. I think it was 2 overtimes, but you know, I'm just happy and proud of our team. They were really resilient. Did everything that we needed to do. It's not easy. You got 3 guys played over 50 plus. We lost one of our ball handlers early, so that was also tough on us. But you know, guys did a good job. You know, each guy that played contributed, you know, in their own way. You know, Soiree 12 rebounds. You know, Lance hit a big 3. I think in the second overtime, you know, Nate was big for us. He was huge. I thought it was, you know, honestly, I thought, and I challenged him. You know, I really challenged him because, quite frankly, I thought Zachary wore him out the first game, and I thought that was the key. And I think he took that personal, but he really played well. He scored the ball well. He had 8 turnovers, but, you know, it's going to happen in a game like this. You know, Duncan Powell, you know, he's a guy that's getting better each and every game. And you know, as the game wore on, he was able to, you know, score on the mismatches and do the things he needed to do. But, you know, I'm just proud. It's not an easy place to win. You know, it's Clemson is a really good team. They do a lot of good things. They pound you, they grind you, and they make things difficult. You know you got to come for a fist fight. And I told our guys, especially after the Louisville game, you know, on Saturday, I'm like, they're not going to take you for granted. And what I'm proud of is I think we took their best hit. And I've been telling anybody that listen, you know, injuries aside, we got 5 or 6 players, 7 players. I feel like we can play with anybody. I really do, and I've been saying it. But I needed these guys to believe in that, and I think, you know, tonight's win shows that they do.
Chad.
You mentioned belief. Do you feel like they're believing in what's going on here?
I do. You know, they were happy. Even in the locker room afterwards, they were happy. But I don't think they were content. You know, I think that game we lost to Notre Dame a week and a half ago, that hurt them. I never seen our guys like that. That hurt them. You know, and so now when we're in scouting reports and we're doing things, you know, they were talking about Clemson this morning. They were talking about the things they need to do. They were making adjustments. They were talking about, Coach, can we do this? We never talk like that. You know, and so I think that they're getting more confidence. I think that they're getting more belief. And then, you know, the crazy thing about it is most people, and this is what I say a lot, you know, they're learning how to manage games. I thought we managed the game well. We didn't do a lot of the things that we've done in the past that have hurt us. We didn't take bad shots. We didn't have any bad turnovers, so to speak. So the game was still kind of in reach, even when, you know, Clemson had the lead.
Go ahead.
Coach, 3.2 seconds left there, up 3 points in the third overtime. Do you consider fouling at all? Is that a tough decision for you, or are you one of those guys that always believes in playing defense?
I actually wanted to foul, but in that particular situation, I think our guys got a little nervous. Then they were switching, you know, because for whatever reason. So I think that once the ball got in, you know, I think that they just went to it. But I wanted to foul. I was actually looking to foul, and maybe they were looking for us to foul too as well. I don't know, but yes, I did want to foul in that situation.
Go ahead.
Hey, Coach, is there an injury update on McCullum? And from your vantage point, what kind of happened on that play that led to his exit?
It just looked like he caught a bad break. You know what I mean? I mean, he was hit by his own man, and you know, we'll probably get another evaluation. He's in the locker room, obviously. I don't want to. You know, he's up and he's moving around. You know, everything is fine from that standpoint. But I'm not a doctor, so I don't really know where he's at in terms of what he can or can't do. But he's moving around, and you know, vitals is fine, and that for me that's the biggest thing. You know, is that you know he's walking and everything seems to be good.
How about personally? Is this one of the more gratifying wins of your tenure?
It is. You know, this is a big time win. You know, it's not an easy environment to play in. I've been saying that. You know, and it's crazy because every time I walk in here, I always look up in their Raptors, and I play with Sharon Wright. You know, I play with Dale Davis. And I know dang near everybody up there, they has their jersey retired, and know a bunch of former football players that went here, and this is just not an easy place to play. And to come in here and to get a win against a team like this is a tournament team. It just, it's gratifying from the standpoint that these kids, can see that if they got belief and they play hard each and every time, they can beat anyone. And that's what makes me so proud. It's more gratifying that they're getting the fruits of their labor, because as a basketball player, that's the reason as a former basketball player, that's the reason I coach, because I've been all of these kids on this stat sheet before, and I know what it feels like when you have success. And so that's the thing, to see those guys happy and cheering for each other and jumping up and down in the locker room, but yet not satisfied, that makes me happy.
Coach, Nathan had a big game here as a freshman last year in that double overtime win. I think he might have hit a three to send it to overtime. But obviously not a freshman anymore. But how about the game he had? 28 points, 55 minutes.
Big time. He played a big time game. He made a lot of shots early to keep us in the game. And then I thought in the second half he made shots, he facilitated, he did a good job. But again, I think the 8 turnovers aren't indicative of how he played. He was really good tonight. He really played inspiring basketball from the tip. He helped keep us organized the whole time. And like I say, Zachary was picking him up dang near the whole game. So he did a really good job, and I was just proud of him. I was proud of his poise. I was proud of his patience. The way he was able to come back from things that, sometimes he hadn't came back from in the past. But did a great job for us. Proud of him.
One more, Chad, you want it? Go
You
ahead.
can go ahead.
24 offensive rebounds for you guys. How did that kind of affect that momentum switch even to the later parts of the game into overtime? How important was getting rebounds over Clemson?
It was big. The one thing that probably won't get talked about as much, but Locken not being in the game, him fouling out. Usually they play with 2 bigs. So what happened is Shefflin, and he wasn't, to me, as effective, because now he's trying to wrestle with 2 guys instead of having another guy to wrestle, to help him wrestle on the inside. And I think that's, where that came into play. And so due to our injuries, now we got 3 guys who are actually out there. And between those 3 guys, you have, Bai had 6 offensive rebounds, Soiree had 7, and then Duncan had 3. So, that's 15 rebounds for our front line, and that's a whole lot, figuratively speaking, for, when you play against Clemson traditionally, you expect it to be the flip side of that, because last year when we played in here, that's what happened. So, I just think that Locken not being in the game, I thought that hurt them.
Thanks,
Thank you, Coach.
All right.